So Disney held an investor event today in which they announced a bunch of new Star Wars projects. Obviously, unless you've been hiding under a rock, you know that Hayden Christensen is coming back as Darth Vader. That's the biggest news of the day for me. I love Hayden. I love the prequels. Hayden is the one that got me hooked on Star Wars with his performance as Anakin and as Vader in the prequels, so I'm super excited about that show. But let's get right into the recap of the Disney Plus investor event announcements. So if you've been following a lot of Star Wars YouTubers, you know that the Filoniverse has been teased a lot. What the Filoniverse was rumored to be was a bunch of shows that would culminate into one final climax between all the shows. In other words, there was going to be one crossover episode in which all the shows would reach their climax at the same time. Well, Kathleen Kennedy herself has confirmed that the Filoniverse is in fact happening. Favreau and Filoni are doing two new shows together, Rangers of the Republic and the Ahsoka show, both live action. These two shows and The Mandalorian will all three combine for one combined climax. I'm thinking that these shows are going to combine for a feature-length movie instead of one final episode, and I think that it's so cool that they're finally letting Filoni and Favreau, mostly Filoni, take over the Star Wars universe. I think that the Rangers of the Republic show will probably be about Cara Dune, because in the latest episode of The Mandalorian, we do see that she has officially joined the New Republic. As I said before, you don't cast Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka for her to be a one-off in a show about another character. The Ahsoka show will probably take place before the events of The Mandalorian as teased by Dave Filoni himself. The show will probably be about her hunting Thrawn and Ezra. So this isn't really a content announcement, but they are building 3 new volumes in other countries. And if you don't know, the volume is the thing that they use for The Mandalorian. Instead of using a green screen, it's actually just a normal screen. That means that more Star Wars shows and movies will be using the volume instead of green screen, which I love. Cassian Andor is confirmed to be coming in 2022, which is much later than I thought. I thought we would get it early this year, but oh well, I'm not too excited about that show anyway. But what they showed us today actually made me a little bit more excited than I was before. The Andor show will be a spy thriller. It will use practical sets and props, and it will be about 12 episodes long. The Obi-Wan show is confirmed to be 10 years after Revenge of the Sith, and obviously Hayden Christensen will be returning as Vader, possibly for some Anakin flashbacks as well. I'm personally hoping that we see some flashbacks to the Clone Wars. I want to see live action Anakin and Obi-Wan during the Clone Wars era very bad. This is the news that gets me the most hyped because I love Hayden as Anakin. Hayden playing Anakin is really what got me hooked on Star Wars. The Bad Batch show is officially announced. It will take place during Order 66 time period and a little bit after, and we see Grand Moff Tarkin in the trailer. If you don't know who the Bad Batch are, they were featured in the first 4 episodes of the last Clone Wars season. I'm not too excited about the actual Bad Batch, but I am excited about the time period that the show is taking place in, so we'll see what happens with that. Star Wars Vision will be a series of animated shows celebrating the movies made by anime creators. I don't really care too much about this, but of course I'll watch it and give it a shot. But let's move on to the Lando show. I'm not sure if the Lando show will be live action or animated. It doesn't say anywhere, but I'm really wondering if it's going to be Donald Glover as Lando or maybe Billy D. Williams. I thought Donald Glover did a very good job playing Lando in Solo, but the show may take place after The Rise of Skywalker. They did kind of tease that at the very end of the movie. Acolyte is another show that I'm not sure if it's animated or live action, but the show will be a Sith POV of the High Republic era. It is said to take place in the last days of the High Republic, so this is going to be super cool that we finally get to see a Sith POV, a show purely about the Sith. And because this is going to take place in the final days of the High Republic, that means we're going to see Yoda in his prime as well. A Droid Story will be a show about R2-D2 and C-3PO going on a secret mission. It'll probably be a fun show, but it's not something that I'm really looking forward to that much. And the last 2 announcements that we have were both about feature film. The first one is an untitled Taika Waititi film. He's my favorite director right now, so this movie will be great regardless. If Taika Waititi's involved, he won't let the movie be anything less than great. Taika Waititi has directed movies like Thor Ragnarok, Jojo Rabbit, and he also directed the season finale of the first season for The Mandalorian. The last announcement that we had was the Patty Jenkins movie, and this movie actually has a title, which is Rogue Squadron. Patty has directed both Wonder Woman movies, and I like the first movie a lot. The second movie reviews are just starting to come out, and they are very positive, so I'm looking forward to her movie as well. But since the movie is going to be focused around Rogue Squadron, I don't think there will be any Force users in the movie. A lot of people watch Star Wars because of the Force users, so this makes me scared that the movie may flop. It's the same fear that I had for The Mandalorian, and Baby Yoda kind of silenced that fear for me because he is the Force user of the show. But even though I am a little scared that the movie's gonna flop, I'm still keeping hopes high. I did not think this many announcements would be made, and it's not even about the amount of announcements that they made, it's more about how much weight each announcement holds. So much news that alters the entire world of Star Wars and the entire Star Wars fandom was announced today. We are entering into a period of fandom that I love to see. It reminds me of the time right after The Force Awakens came out when everyone was just so excited about Star Wars. I still can't believe that Hayden Christensen is coming back as Vader. I'm so excited for that, and what a time to be a Star Wars fan. Let me know what you guys think of all these announcements that I discussed in this video. I'm very happy with the announcements that they made, but I'm very curious to see what other people think of them as well. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like on it, and if you want to see more videos covering Star Wars news and things like that, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one.